Hi, this is Marvelyn Brown from Inner Word Business Services, and today we're going to talk about the series. We're continuing our series on setting up your WordPress blog. So if you've been with us through the first 3 videos, you know that in the first video we talked about the things that you need to put together or think about before you install your blog. And then on the second video, we actually did the blog installation, which took about maybe 10 minutes. And then on the third video, we installed our theme. We actually selected a theme and we installed the theme on the site. So in addition to that, we gave our blog some basic structure. So we put together, because we had kind of thought about the pages that we wanted and the items that we wanted to include in those pages, based on the information, the list that we put together in that first video. We basically built those pages, and then we also thought about our blog post. We thought about what we wanted our theme to be, and we had gotten together some pictures for the posts, and we thought about some of the titles that we wanted and just kind of gave it some structure. So we have 3 blog posts. We put together some categories like recipes, exercises, and the mind body categories. And so we have the basic structure for our blog. Now we're going to just kind of add some layers and get our basic foundation completed by adding on some plugins, and hopefully we can get those sidebar widgets, or at least some of them, started in this video. So let's go ahead. We've logged into the WordPress dashboard. So now we need to go to that dashboard, and you do that by clicking on the name of your blog and then going to dashboard. So then that's going to take us to our dashboard. And if you remember on the last video, this is kind of where we left off. So now we're going to go to plugins, because this is what we're going to be working with. And as you can see, you have 3 choices. You have the choice to look at the installed plugins, or the ones that you've already put on your site. Now, WordPress also comes with some plugins already installed, but I've also pre-installed some plugins just for the sake of time. So you can look at those by clicking on this link, and then you also have a link that will enable you to add new plugins, as well as a link that will enable you to edit any plugins that you might have. Now, unless you're a programmer or you're experienced with code or whatever, I wouldn't really fool with this too much, because I wouldn't fool with it at all, because this can actually totally mess up your blog. So I would leave this one alone, but these 2 you definitely want to have access to, so that you can look at what you've already installed and also add any new plugins to your site. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to add a couple of plugins just so that you can see how easy it is to add a plugin. Now, when I started out with WordPress, you had to actually download, and then you'd have to upload it to WordPress and do some other stuff to really get your plugins installed. Now, because of this most recent update, all you have to do is just click a button and your installation is done, and then you click another button to activate. So it's a very easy process. So we're going to install a couple of the plugins, and then we'll show you how easy that is, and then we'll talk about some of the others. So let me just type in, we have a plugin. The first one that we're going to talk about is called Redirection. So we're going to type that in, and it should come up. Okay, great, it did come up. Now, this is a plugin that will manage your redirection. So when you want to redirect is basically when you've moved your content. So say, for instance, you've placed a post on your website, and you've posted it on social media, you've advertised it, and you're getting a lot of traffic, but for whatever reason you have to move it. You have to move your content somewhere else. So you change the link that you get to that you use to get to your post, and that automatically moves it to another location on your server. So what you want to do is you want to have a way, and I don't know if you've ever looked at a blog post or you've looked online and you've clicked on a link and it says page not found, or sorry, this page doesn't exist, or a page has been moved, but there's no information on where the page moved to. That's why you need redirects, because redirects will redirect your traffic to the new location. So you take your post and you put it in a new location, and you create a 301 redirect that automatically takes your visitors to that new location. So that's what we're going to be installing here, and all you do, as you can see, and I'm just going to kind of pan over a little bit so that you can see these plugins. So all the plugins now have this area where it says install now. And that's all you have to do in order to install your plugin. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out before I install this is you also want to look at several factors. When you're searching for a plugin, if you haven't gotten a fairly credible recommendation about a plugin, a good thing to do is to look at the number of stars it has and the number of people who have done a review on it or a rating on it, because this will tell you whether people are really happy with it or whether they think it's a dud. So with this particular plugin, it's got 4 out of 5 stars, 224 people have reviewed it, and it's got over 500,000 active installs. Also, it was updated 3 months ago, so that's fairly recently, and it's compatible with my version of WordPress. So those are 3 things, or 4 things rather, that you want to look at before you install a plugin, just to kind of give you an idea of whether people are generally satisfied with it, if it has a high rating, and whether it's something that's being maintained by the developer. If they're not maintaining it, if it hadn't been updated in 2 years, or it's not compatible with your version of WordPress, if it's not compatible, it may cause you to have problems. It may conflict with other plugins that you might have on your site. It may slow your site down. So those are things that you definitely want to look at before installing. So all these things check out with me, and this is really a great plugin to have. So we're going to click on Install Now, and it's been installed. So now the next step is to activate. So we're going to click on Activate, and once it's been activated, it will be added to my page, and I'm good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to, I'm going to scroll over here again, and we're going to go to Plugins, Add New. We're going to add another plugin. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? I think we have the anti-spam. We'll try that one. That plugin is also a great plugin to have. Now this has already been installed on my blog. The only thing I need to do is activate it. So as you can see, it's got over 100,000 active installs. 121 people gave it 5 out of 5 stars. That's pretty good. And it was updated 6 months ago, and it's compatible. So we're going to go ahead and activate that. And as you can see, it's really, really easy to install these plugins on your site. The big thing that you want to think about, though, you want to get plugins that you're actually going to get some benefit from. You don't want to just go out and install a whole bunch of plugins just because the more plugins you have, the more it can slow down your website or your blog. And I use the word website and blog interchangeably, but when I say the word website, I really mean blog. So just kind of keep that in mind. They mean the same thing to me. So now we're going to activate our ASCII-Met. ASCII-Met is a very standard plugin that comes with WordPress. we're going to go ahead and activate that. Now on some of these, because I already have Askimet installed, so all I have to do is activate it. So that's good to go. Now we're going to go back to plugins, add new. And we're also going to activate the Jetpack. Now Jetpack also comes with WordPress. Jetpack gives you a suite of tools that you can use. You can activate them or you can deactivate them as you see fit. But this will give you the ability to, increase your functionality as well. And so we're going to go ahead and activate, I don't know, can I activate this? Well, let's go up to, now in order for you to get to Jetpack, even though you see it here, it's kind of grayed out, so it doesn't look like it's going to give me the ability to activate it. So let's go here. This is where you're actually going to see your Jetpack plugin, because as I said, this is actually one that comes with WordPress. So let's look at the settings. Okay, so I'm basically set up. And what you want to do when you set up your Jetpack, you have to have a WordPress.com site in order to use Jetpack. So if you already have a WordPress.com login, you'll want to log in using these settings right here into your account. And then if you don't have an account, you can easily set one up. So you have to be logged into your WordPress.com account, and then you can actually set up your Jetpack. So it looks like I've already got everything that I want activated. So let me go back to my plugins. And if you hear thunder in the background, that's because we are definitely having a storm right now. We're in the middle of a thunderstorm. It's been thundering like all day long, so I apologize for that if you do hear the rumble of thunder in the background. Okay, so it looks like our Jetpack is activated because it says deactivate. If I wanted to deactivate it, I would click there. So I'm going to move on to the next plugin. And so the next plugin that I'm going to talk about is the MailChimp Forms plugin. Now this plugin, I've already kind of brought up some information about it just for the sake of time. This is a plugin that will it will basically connect with your email autoresponder software. So I use MailChimp, and so this is going to enable you to set up forms with your account. So if you use Aweber or GetResponse or MailChimp or Vertical Response or any of those services, you can actually integrate that with your site and set up lead creation pages. So this will enable you to set up, you can either embed your WordPress, your MailChimp or your autoresponder forms. Either you can embed them in your posts, you can have them as a sidebar along, or not a sidebar, but a top bar along the top of all your pages. You can put them in your like a scroll box that goes along the side of the page. You can also create a sign up in your sidebar. So all of these actually are great places to put your lead generation or your sign up forms. You definitely want to have these in all of these different locations because different people like to interact with your site in different ways, and people look at your site using different devices. So if someone looks at your site with a smartphone, it may be more convenient for them to sign up using this top bar. If they look at it with a tablet, it may be more convenient for them to sign up with the embed code or by using the sidebar. Sometimes when you're using a tablet, your sidebar is not even visible until you scroll down. So you just want to, have the ability to put your sign-up form in multiple places. So this plugin definitely allows you to do that. It's called MailChimp Forms by MailMunch. Now, if you're wondering about the list of plugins that I'm, going through, I actually created a document, and this document will be available for you to download. So it's got all the different plugins that I'm going to talk about today, and it tells you what they do and the actual name that you can type in on WordPress when you're doing the search so that you'll be able to find them. So let's move on to the next plugin, and that's going to be the broken link checker. So this WordPress broken link status checker is going to check your site for broken links. It's going to basically go out and do a scan of all of your site links. It'll do a scan of your images, and if there are any broken links, it's going to show them, and I'll show you just in a second. It's going to actually scan your site, and then if there are any issues found, they'll be listed right here. So that's also a great plugin to have for your site. So basically, I hope you're kind of seeing the theme with these plugins. They give your site additional functionality, and they show you things that you need to see to keep your site up and running and healthy. So, and it basically enables you to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do unless you hired a programmer or a coder or someone to come in and put that functionality into your website. So the next plugin that I'm going to talk about is PrettyLink. PrettyLink is a really great plugin because that enables you, and I just kind of put one link in here just so that you can see what this plugin does. So we're going to take a look here. Now, I am an Amazon associate. So when I go to Amazon and I pulled up an item here, it's called the Fitbit tracker. So when I go to Amazon and I look at a product, any product on the site, I can actually get, because I'm an associate, I can get an affiliate link, and I can use that link to post on social media or on my website, or I can put that link anywhere. If someone clicks on that link and they go to Amazon and they buy the product, or if they buy any product on Amazon, I will get a commission. And so that's what affiliate links do for you. So I can get a short link, or I can get the full link. And if you look at the full link, you can see it's pretty long and it's pretty ugly. So what I want to do to make that link look better, and here is how it really looks. I've actually pasted it here. So what you would do is you would go to Amazon, get the link, copy it, go to your PrettyLink, paste it in here, and then PrettyLink is going to generate a link that you can use that looks a lot better and is a lot easier for your customers to use. So just think about if you saw a link like this on someone's blog or on social media, you would definitely think that maybe this is something that might not be good for you to click on, because it's got so much stuff in it. It's got garbage. It looks like there's garbage in it. However, this is the affiliate link for the Fitbit fitness tracker. So it makes it into a really easy to read, easy to copy or type in or whatever. And then you can also put, say for instance, if your post was going to be called the Fitbit fitness tracker review, and I spelled fitness wrong, but if you wanted to title your blog post Fitbit Fitness Tracker Review, then you would just type that in there. So you can make your post anything you want it to be. And when you type that title in here, that's what actually shows up here on the top. This is also what shows up when someone does a search on any of the search engines. So you want this to be something that will be meaningful for your readers. So once you create that link, Then you can actually put a no follow link. You can track the link, and you can click on update or save, and it will generate a link that looks like this. So then this is something you can copy and paste and put on, your social media site or whatever. The other great thing about this is it will also track the number of times people click on that link, and it will tell you the number of unique users that clicked on that link. So it's a really great tool to have. This is the free version. If you want to update or upgrade rather, you can also upgrade to the paid version that has more functionality. So the next, let's see, the next plugin we're going to talk about is the Yoast SEO plugin. Now this is a really great plugin because it gives you more bang for your buck, so to speak. It gives you Webmaster Tools. It gives you a sitemap. And let me just scroll down here a little bit. You get sitemaps. So sitemaps actually help the search engines crawl or index your site easier. So this is where your sitemap is located, and it will generate this for you automatically. So when you publish a post, it's going to continually update your sitemap based on, when you post new content. Now, the other thing that it gives you is the ability to put in your title tags, your meta tags. All of those are things that help you with your search engine optimization. So if you go through and do all the things that this plugin asks you to do, what will happen is at the end of the day, your posts are going to be optimized for SEO. So I'm going to take a look at a post and just kind of show you exactly what it looks like, what the SEO plugin looks like. So this is the post, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see this is the Yoast SEO plugin. It rates your site based on your content. It rates your site, and it gives you some to-dos. So these are the to-dos that you would have to get this blog post SEO compliant, or up to speed in terms of SEO. It also gives you another area that gives you some ratings on whether your post is readable. So you want a readable post, and you want something that's easy to scan. People are scanners nowadays. They don't really sit down and read unless something really, really catches their attention. So you want, a post that's readable, scannable, makes sense. And so this is what this does. It helps to rate your site on those readability factors. Then you also want the SEO component, because that's going to tell you whether your site has been optimized for SEO. The other thing that it's going to enable you to do, if you click on this, it will enable you to put in a title, a description, and an image that you want for your social media posts. So instead of your site, sometimes I have posted stuff and just assumed that it looked the way I wanted it to look, and then when I've gone out to the social media site and looked at that post, I was horrified because it looked ridiculous. And so if you want to have more control over the images that are uploaded with your post, the description, what it actually says, and the title, this is going to enable you to do that as well. You can do it for Facebook, and you can also do it for Twitter. And then this last thing is a kind of a gear, and it has to do more with the robots that index your site from the search engines. But these two elements right here are the two things that I normally focus on, and especially the SEO component, because that will help people find your posts a lot faster. So that's basically the SEO Yoast SEO plugin. And that plugin has so much functionality. It's really great to be able to use that, because without it, your site may never be seen by the people that you want to see it. So this is also going to get the information for your Google Search Console, which will enable you to see more information about searches. So when people do searches either on your site or when they use certain keywords to find your site, putting this Google authorization code in here will enable Yoast to go out and grab that data as well. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next. Let's see, we'll also do WordPress Super Cache. So that's a great tool to have, because that will enable your site to load faster. So you want your site to load quickly, because if people have to wait on your site to load, over the amount of time that they feel is reasonable, if it takes forever for your site to load, they're going to click off your site and go somewhere else. So you definitely want to have this WordPress Super Cache enabled, and you want to, tweak your settings so that your site will load quickly. So that's another great WordPress plugin that you want to use. So now we're going to actually, let me look at the installed plugins, because I'm not sure if I have this one installed. It's called Download Attachments. And this is it right here. So downloading attachments is a very good plugin to have, because it enables you to give your readers some additional content. So they're looking at your site, they're reading your information. They may be pressed for time. Some people are they love having a piece of paper in their hands. Some people want something that they can take away and read later. And so this plugin will enable you to provide attachments or PDF documents that your visitors can download when they're on your site. So that way, if they're pressed for time, they don't have to, go through all of your content in order to get information that they can use, or they can print and take away from the actual, the blog itself, and look at it at a later time. So hopefully that makes sense. It enables you to have downloads, PDF downloads. So our next plugin that we're going to look at is, let's see, our Signature Manager. And let me just see if I have that. Okay, so WordPress Post Signature. And I believe that is, yep, here it is right here. So WordPress Post Signature enables you to put in a little snippet of information that goes at the end of each blog post. So a lot of times people will put a short bio, maybe a picture of themselves, a call to action. So something like, if you enjoyed this post, please comment, share, or repost this content, share it with your friends and family, or something to that nature. And basically that's kind of a call to action, asking people to take action on your post. Some people will lead their visitors to a lead generation page or a landing page, or some people will also do, if they do a bio, they'll link their About Me page to their bio, so that if people want to get more information, they can do that. So this can be used for a lot of useful information. It can provide something consistent that people will kind of start looking for at the end of each of your blog posts. Another thing that I've seen people do is they ask people, if you're interested in guest posting, please contact us, or, just something. It kind of gives people a constant call to action, to take some kind of action on your site. So we recommend this plugin as well. And the next thing that we want to look at is we want to look at the privacy policy and the terms and conditions generator. And I believe that's on here as well. Yep, here we go. This is the terms of conditions, terms of service rather, and the privacy policy generator. Okay, so this is the terms of service, and basically you just go in and you put in the name of your company, the full name of your company, the possessive name, just kind of fill in the blanks for your company, the minimum age of people that you want to be customers on your site, whether it's 18, 21, or whatever, and then the period of time for notification of changes in fees and things like that. So this just basically you go through all of this and then you hit save, and then that pretty much generates a terms of service, a terms of services page for your site. And the same thing goes for the privacy policy. So that way, Google does want, all of the websites that are on their index or their search engine to have terms of service and a privacy policy. And that has to be outlined. There's also, if you sell certain products and services, you also want to have a disclaimer as well. So that's basically what you do with that. Another thing that we want to talk about is Google Analytics. And Google Analytics, and I wish I could close out this super cache warning. I think because the super cache is not tested with my version of, and that's one of the problems you run into when you have a plugin that's not tested with your version of WordPress. It can cause problems. And so what you want to do is make sure when you are looking at plugins that you will that you install plugins that are tested with your version. Just like this says, compatible with your version of WordPress. Now I'm going to give the WP Super Cache, see this says untested with my version of WordPress. It has over 1 million active installs, 869 reviews, and 4 out of 5 stars. It's been updated in the last 4 months. However, it hasn't been updated since that last update, WordPress update, and so that's the reason I'm getting that error. I'm going to give it a reasonable amount of time for them to update the plugin. But if they don't update the plugin, then I'll probably just shop for another one that's similar, that does the same thing, that's compatible with my version of WordPress, because I don't want to have problems with my site further down the road. So what I would suggest doing, if you run into a plugin that's highly recommended, that has great reviews, but there just seems to be an issue with that particular plugin, if it's not a showstopper for you, I would make a note, put it in my calendar to revisit it in maybe 2 to 3 weeks to see if it's been updated and to see if that resolves the issue. If it doesn't, then you might want to look for another plugin, because you don't want to start having a whole bunch of problems with your site. This is also a great plugin to have. You don't want to not have this plugin, because that may cause your site to load very slowly. And if that happens, you're going to lose some of your visitors who are not going to be patient enough to wait for your site to actually load. So just kind of think about that. I'm going to go back to install plugins, just to kind of make sure that I have gone over everything with you. There's also an anti-spam plugin that will enable you to you'll basically, what this does for you is it stops or blocks any spam bot comments. So when there are people out there that have bots, or companies or people or whoever that have bots that they've set up to automatically post on your blog. So they go around, they post on blogs. They're not real people, but they post, a lot of gibberish. And they also put backlinks to, some really awful sites onto your blog post. And so that creates some traffic that you might not want to get. So places that do like porn and adult type content, some of those places will use spam bots to post comments and backlinks onto your blog. So you want to block as much of that as possible, and you do that with the anti-spam plugin as well as Askimet. And if it gets to be really bad, you might want to think about a paid solution to keep that kind of stuff off of your website. And one of the last things that I'm going to talk about, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover, but one of the last things that I wanted to talk about is the Thrive landing pages. Thrive Themes has a content builder and landing pages and Lightbox creator, it's built into one plugin that you can download, and it really makes a difference in the way your site looks. So I'm just going to show you one of my other blogs that I use this on. So I use the Thrive Content Builder to build this blog, and it really, to me, it has a really professional look, and it provides the information that I want to provide, and it's a very clean layout. And so for my blog, I create my blog posts as well as my pages, and it really gives me the ability to do it quickly and easily without having to worry about layout and things not formatting right and the size of my pictures. I can control all of that by using this plugin. So I'm just going to go through this plugin really quickly. This is the Thrive's landing pages plugin, and it really gives you the ability to turn your blog into a marketing machine. So it enables you to create landing pages, lead generation pages, marketing funnels, which will help drive your customers through to take the actions that you want them to take. And so I would suggest, I'm going to put a link when I actually put this on my on the site as a download. There's a link that you can click that will take you to this page. I would suggest taking a look at this. It gives you the landing page sets. These are the templates. These are some of the landing page templates that you'll get when you purchase. This is a paid plugin, but it's so worth every single penny. You can customize these landing pages however you see fit. You can drag and drop. Now this is what the actual page builder looks like. This is the page builder that you would use to create your blog posts. Your blog posts that look like this, and your website pages. This is what we consider a light box. So this is actually a page, I'm sure you've seen these. The Thrive Content Builder will enable you to create light boxes like this that will give your users the ability to sign up for your offers, for your newsletter, any kind of action you want to take. You can also create forms here if you want to do a survey. You can actually create a light box with your survey questions, 2 or 3 questions. People can submit that, and it's really a great way to collect information and data. So lead generation, surveys, all of those things can be done using the Lightbox functionality. But this is how your page is going to look when you actually go in to do your blog post. You click on the items over here. This is where the building is done. This is your building menu. And you click on whatever element you want. You drag it and you drop it onto your page. You type in your information and then you move on. Maybe if you want credit card icons, like this says credit card icons here, you just click on this and the credit card icons are right there. This is just a great tool to have. Now, the other thing I know is probably going through some of your minds is, oh, she must get a kickback for this. No, I am not an affiliate for Thrive landing pages. I don't even think they have an affiliate program. But if they had one, I would definitely sign up for it. But no, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not getting any kickbacks or any kind of fees or any money or anything like that. I just really believe in this product because it's really helped me to create some great content on my site. So, it gives you these large buttons that you can create. Now, you can create small buttons, but if you want to grab attention, you can create large buttons. It also integrates with lead capture pages. And let me just let me find one of my blog posts and I can show you. Let me see which one I can show. Okay, I think I have one on here. I'm pretty sure I usually put a lead generation. Now this is also a light box, and you can create the way that they appear on your page. You can create them based on however you want to format them basically. But this is a page that I also created with the landing pages, and I guess I didn't put a lead capture. I didn't integrate lead capture on here. Okay, well, let's see if I can find another one real quick. Gee whiz, I need to do that. I need to put a lead capture integration in there because that really gives people the ability to follow up with you. Okay, so let's see what some of the older posts. I know some of the older posts have it. Okay, I think I have one on here. Let's try this one. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically, and see on here, this one has a video on it, and you can actually make your videos look like tablets. Like this is actually the frame on this is a tablet. So it kind of gives you some innovative ways to lay out your blog. Okay, so this is one where I integrated a lead capture page using MailChimp, and I didn't need another plugin in order to do that. I could just put it right there on the page, name, email, subscribe, and that's pretty much it. You can integrate, this is actually a PDF, and so it just gives you the ability to do so many different things. Here's one of their call to actions. This is a call to action that all I did was drag it, drop it, and type in my content. And you can click on this and get the blog transformation checklist. So anyway, this the Thrive landing pages gives you the ability to do so many different things. Responsive columns, content boxes. Now, let me just go back. You can put a table of contents. On this one blog post that I did, I was able to put a table of contents, which makes it a lot easier for people to, instead of having to scroll all the way through your content, they can actually, and here's another light box. So as you can see, they kind of, all look a little bit different and request different information. So here is a table of contents with links. Now, I automatically generated this. I didn't have to go in and do any coding or link building or anything like that. I just dragged it, dropped it, and it automatically picked up all of my heading links. So it automatically generated this table of contents, and all I did was just add the coloring for the background, and that was pretty much it. So I mean, this really enables you to make a great looking website, and so for that, I think it's worth every bit. And these are some of the things that you can do: buttons, calls to action, styled lists, content boxes, responsive columns, testimonials, guarantee forms, grids, lead generation, which is what I just showed you with the with your ability to put in your email lead generation, countdown timers, Google Maps, video embeds like the one I just showed you, table of contents. I just showed you the table of contents and how it looks. A table builder. You can actually put ratings on your blog posts, or if you have products, you can add ratings to your products. You can do a content reveal, HTML, style sheets, fully mobile responsive. So that means that no matter what device your customers are looking at your site on, your site is going to look great. And so it basically enables you to get 3 products in one: the landing pages, content builder, and Lightbox, all for $67 for a single site, $97 for unlimited sites, and if you're an agency or a web developer or whatever, you can get a $49 a month subscription. So I ended up getting the unlimited $97 solution just because I have, more than one site that I maintain. However, if you only have one site, get the $67 version, and, this is well worth every penny that you would pay for this. So think about this particular plugin. Even though it's a paid plugin, it's definitely worth it. So that pretty much wraps up the plugins, and as I said, I will have this document available for download so that you will be able to see all of the plugins that we talked about in this video. Now this has been a 48-minute video, so I totally appreciate your patience. But if you put these plugins on your site, you're going to have some great functionality, and you'll be able to do everything you need to do to create great blog posts, great content, and build the business that you want to build. If you've gotten some great information or you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you would comment, share, and post this on your site, a link to it on your site. And if you have any questions, you can also reach me on my website, and my website is called Word Business Services, and you can actually just click on that Contact Us link and send me a notice or a note and ask your question, and I'll be glad to get back to you I usually get back to people either the same day or the next business day. So I'm going to go ahead and log off, but please use some of these plugins or all of these plugins to create the kind of site and give your site the functionality that it needs. Now on the next video, we're going to be looking at, I think I'm going to do a video on the Thrive landing pages just so that you can see everything that it can do. So I'll do a video on that, and then we will take our plugins and we will start applying those plugins and add some additional layers to our WordPress site. So this is basically when you start adding in the plugins. Oh, and the one thing that I didn't get to cover this time is the sidebar widgets. So we're going to cover that on the next video. I'll try to get a sidebar um, video done so that we can wrap up the actual installation, and then after we get the sidebar done and the Thrive landing pages plugin video, we'll be good to go as far as the basic foundation for your blog. And then once that's done, then you can actually start adding your own blog posts and, you know, kind of take it from there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off. Thanks so much for listening and watching, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.